What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good? What's up, people? It's me. I'm L27. You know who I am?
Thundercats are on the move. Thundercats are loose, honey.
He's about the business of dipping spoons into sugar bowls. Anyway, real girls do real things. So as to make it easier for insertion, maybe?
No means no, and yes means no.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? It's me, L27, and I am back for yet another review. This will be our review for. This is P Valley. It is season 2. It is episode 8. It is entitled The Death Drop. Now, I told y'all way back when we first got introduced to Roulette and Whisper, I told y'all from the jump, from the dope, oh, I like this Roulette bitch. I knew from the beginning, I said, oh, I like her. Remember that? Go back and watch that review. I said from the jump, I like that bitch right there. That is my hoe. I like some Roulette. Y'all have been wavering on Roulette. I knew from the beginning that I liked her. I fucks with her. That is my hoe. She's my spirit animal. And we found out this episode why. So let's get on into it. Mercedes is practicing down on the pole at the Pynk. Listen, she ain't got it. This ain't it. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how all of a sudden she magically can't grip a pole and can't do shit down there to the Pynk. But she was just over there doing backflips and somersaults on the goddamn pole in Coach's house with the lesbian and Coach. But now all of a sudden you can't even grip the pole or hold on to the pole. Girl, unless Montavious is still over there. Now that it's got to be Montavious. Maybe it's when she goes into the Pynk, Montavious puts that, weight on her and she can't hold it up. Because there's no explanation for her not to be able to. Because we saw her do it. And Hailey at one point in the episode was like, you came back too early, your shoulder healed. Your baby, that shoulder done healed and went over. Because mama is over there doing somersaults and backflips on the goddamn pole in Coach's house. With no problem. A mess. Anyway, she's over there on, she sit down, she started to kind of cry and feeling sorry for herself. And Uncle Clifford was like, remember, ain't no crying in the Pynk, bitch. The fuck you crying for? Get your life in order. And he tells her, listen, this ain't physical, this is mental. It's mental. And, but she comes right back and tell him, well, listen, if you want me to keep trying to get back on the pole and don't give up, then you need to do what you do to keep the Pynk and save the Pynk and don't give up on that. We then are at Uncle Clifford's house. Murda is getting his hair cut. When Uncle Clifford say call Lil Murda's booty olive branch booty, I said olive branch booty. I said, you know what? I'm not doing this with y'all. Now, I called it. I said that there was going to be an issue about this no condom situation. So you see the beginnings of that because they start to get into an argument kind of about protected, unprotected, who might be given which one an STD or STI. We saw the beginnings of that conversation. Just like I said, they both keeping a lot of secrets from each other. And in relationships, especially all relationships, I ain't going to say especially, but in all relationships, if you're holding a lot of secrets and not communicating as well as you should, that's a recipe for disaster. So then we go down to Mercedes' house. Now, Mercedes, fine ass jail boo, done got back out of jail. Maine. Some fine piece of something, honey. So he's out of jail. He's on house arrest though. His gang members or whatever, they gonna throw him a little block party or whatever, and he wants Mercedes to go at his desk as his guest or date, I should say. We'll see. We'll see later on. But it wasn't a whole lot to see in this scene except for Maine's body. Ooh, and if you're into, the women, Mercedes was wearing some tight spandex, so her body was out on display too. So very nice bodies there. Two people with nice ass bodies. Anyway, Mississippi ends up meeting up with Hailey down to the restaurant. She gives her birth certificates for her and her 2 kids because Hailey's gonna get her some passports so she can get the hell out of Dodge. So They're in the same restaurant where Lil Murda and Mississippi went on their first date or whatnot. So, um, Haley tells Mississippi, hey, little girl, this was about to happen. We're gonna do the reopening of the Pink again. You're gonna be the headliner. Don't worry about it, cause I'm sure. Whew, sorry, y'all. I'm sure Mississippi was. It's real late, y'all. It's really like 3 in the morning. I'm sure Mississippi was scared about Derrick telling her no, but Haley was like, no, let him know he could. You'll give him all the money from the poll to help out with the house and get the things that y'all need. But on the back end, we're not going to tell him that we're going to give you the door, and you can use that money that you make off the door for your escape. So that was good. She reminds Mississippi also because she asked Mississippi, well, where you gonna go with your money? And Mississippi was about to tell her. She said, listen, you don't tell nobody where you're going. Even the people who help you out, don't tell them where you're going. That was good advice. On the TV in the restaurant, this campaign ad comes on from this organization called Chuckaleases for Truth, and they basically put all Andre's business out there. The fact that he lied about his dad dying, his dad ain't dead. His dad is in prison for murder, and so that came out, and everybody in the restaurant was like, "Yeah, that motherfucker been. We knew something was up with him. That motherfucker been lying the whole time." So we then cut away to Andre's headquarters where Corbin is there, and Corbin is incensed. He is livid. Do you hear me? He is incensed. He is livid. The level of anger that this young man had, and so him and Andre, Corbin and Andre start going in back and forth because Corbin is going off. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm so tired. This is like 3 in the morning. Don't forgive me, y'all. I'm sorry about that. Anyway, so another campaign ad from Chuckaleases for Truth comes on, and this time it's about Patrice Woodbine and talk about it. But on there, you see Patrice comes on at the end of the video. Patrice is admitting everything. I sure was a hoe. I sure did do crack. I sure did do that. I gave this. I did that. I beat this hoe. I sucked this dick. I did all of that. But that got me the way I am today. So even though they trying to call her out, the fact that she immediately say, yeah, that's me, that's what I did, and is not a liar, it makes her look a lot better than Andre, who comes off as being a liar, and he is a liar actually. So, um, I really felt like here, say what you want about Corbin. Corbin, like he said, I'm putting my hard-earned money up on this. He has every right to be mad. Freaking Andre kind of tried to brush it off and make it like Corbin was the problem. Corbin is not the problem. You are, because you lied, and this man is putting a lot of money into your campaign. Down to the plantation, the big house, Mississippi and Derrick's home. Derrick buys her some shoes. Now we remember from episode, I believe, 4, that she wears a size 7.5, and so he bought her some size 7.5, and it didn't fit. And she was real cold about it. She was like, "It don't fit," and he was like, "But this is your size, baby. I done had 2 kids, and when you have 2 kids, your feet swell because you got to carry all that weight um, each time you're pregnant. So my feet has grown. Things change, Derrick." And he could tell that was about him. So he immediately just starts beating himself up, like punching himself in the head and everything, beating himself up about the fact that he just keeps fucking up. And so he's vulnerable now. And Mississippi, smartly enough, picks up on this and pounces. And that's when she asks him about, she seizes her moment to get him to agree to let her go back and dance at the Pynk. Brilliant. Brilliant. Corbin, we then see Corbin goes to his brother's office to argue with him about the campaign ad. And so they have back and forth words, but the brother tells Corbin, listen, if this casino don't go through, it's gonna be on your head, not mine. We then see Hailey goes to see the Georgie lady, Georgie, whatever her name is. Mama got is in the beauty salon, and Mama got Coke cans as rollers. They rolling her hair with Coke cans. Now I don't know if that's a thing. If it is, y'all put it in the comment section. But I don't know nothing about people rolling hair using Coke cans. I wish I would. Well, that wouldn't happen because I don't go to the beauty salon. But if I'm a lady and I go to the beauty salon, I wish a motherfucker would talk about, oh, you finna roll my hair in Coke cans as much as I'm paying y'all. We ain't doing that. Anyway, um, long story short, Hailey refused to offer Georgie, whatever her name is. Said, "Listen, I offer you 5 million. That's all you get. I'm not taking it." She said, "Well, what if it dies on the boat?" She said, "Well, we'll have to take that chance, but I'm not doing it." And so Georgie said, "This is my last offer. If you don't take this one, then it's gonna be decided at the polls." She said, "Okay," and didn't take her up on that offer. We then see Murda goes to the funeral home, go to the funeral home where Wody is the funeral director. Go to Wody's funeral home, and they got Teak all, telling he had to bring the outfit for Teak to wear for the funeral. So they get into, and so Wody admits to killing Rome. He did. Wody admits to killing Rome. Listen, it was hard to focus because that goddamn Wody, he's so fine. He is so fine. Do you hear me? Fine. Anyway, he admitted to killing Rome. He then talks to Lil Murda about the tape. Now, here's my question. Because I thought when we first learned about this tape, it was a tape of maybe him and Teak or something like that. I knew it wasn't a tape of him and Uncle Clifford, but I knew it was. I shouldn't say I knew. I thought it was a tape of maybe him and Big Teak. So come to find out, I don't think it's any of that. Because he was like, I was 15 and I had to do what I had to do to put money in my home and, to feed my family and put clothes on the table or whatever. So was this porn? Like, did he do a porn? Did he make a flick? You know what I'm saying? Did he do porn? Or is this some secret sex tape or something? Like, I was real confused about that. So, but he said he did it to put money on the table or whatever. I don't know. Y'all help me out in the comment section on that part, though. Now, what he said, listen, whatever it was, I did it. Lil Murda says, but what if he already sent it to people? What he says, I'll handle it. And so when he said, this conversation led me to believe that it was, I'm leaning toward it being like maybe a porn video. I don't, I don't, I don't know. Either that or maybe like a sex tape. And somebody paid him off. It sounds like it was somebody older that took advantage of this 15-year-old boy who needed some money, but I don't know, y'all. Then murder goes into this whole, I don't want to call it survivor's remorse, but this whole why me? Why do I get to be the one that gets famous? Why do I get to be the one that comes out the hood? And Bodie was like, well, why not you? One of us got to come out. But yeah, that was a whole, and you can tell sometimes you get to a certain place, and I think his angst in this conversation is he knows he's going to have to leave behind a lot of people, like a lot of places he's known, a lot of people he grew up with. He's in a lot of situations he's gonna have to leave a lot of stuff behind, and I think he realizes that he was like, well, why me? Why me? Why me? Mm-hmm. Anyway, back down to the paint. Um, they seem to be done got all these ducks in a row. Everybody down there. The L there, Duffy there. The new air conditioner is working good. The new ventilating system is working good. They got everything they need, even though they only gonna be able to open at half capacity, not full. Diamond is there with Big Bone. They over there flirting in a DJ booth and shit. And Mercedes is looking a hot ass mess on the goddamn pole. Just a damn mess. Hailey asks Mercedes, let me see your routine. That shit look a hot ass mess. She said, don't worry about it, boo. We got a headliner. Mississippi. In comes Mississippi. Everybody's like, yes, bitch. Pick up your jaws. Anyway, Mississippi comes in there, break it up, break it up, break it up, break it up. She broke it up, honey. And at that point, Uncle Clifford is livid. And him and Haley start breaking into an argument. So the girls go back to the locker room. Now, Whisper and Roulette seem real starstruck by Mississippi. They would say, "For oh, we wear your eyelashes. Oh, we love you. Oh, we watch you all out." They real starstruck by Mississippi. Um, Mercedes tells Mississippi, "Girl, your locker is still there, and your vanity's still over there, girl. You good." But they kind of both, Mercedes and Mississippi said, "Listen." Mercedes says to her, "You ain't had no other options, did you? No other choice but and to come back because that's your only option." She was like, "Yeah." And so they kind of like settled in on, because Mercedes was like, well, welcome on, because she ain't got a whole lot, no other options. She ain't got a whole lot of options either. She ain't got nothing. So Uncle Clifford is arguing with Haley. He's storming. So listen, Uncle Clifford comes out of the club storming, ranting, raving, doing his Uncle Clifford thing. He gets in the car, and everything just comes to a head and comes in on itself, and he starts crying and breaking down, because I did tell you earlier that what he was doing when he was at the house with Lil Murda cutting the hair, he was calling the hospital again, and the people at this point are like, listen, you can't call us no more. You don't call us like 89,000 times. If it ain't no news, that's good news. Leave us the hell alone. So he is between his grandmother, the club, everything that's going on, you know, all the stuff around, it just all came to a head. He just started to emote. He started crying, this, that, and the third. So he sees this vision of his mother. I don't know whether it's a vision. I don't know whether it was a ghost, but she in the back seat, and his mama. And his mom, gives him a pep talk like, you okay? You crying? Are you done? And his mom reminded him of a saying that his grandmother had, which was, bitches don't cry, they get even. Great line. We'll be stealing that. Anyway, down to the fume for Big Teak. Listen, I was real in my feelings about this fume for Big Teak. I was in my feelings. So they thug this is going on, thugnificent, thug, anything, any kind of word or adjective or adverb you can make for thug, throw it now. The gang is there. They taking off they chains and putting it on the body. Lil Murda comes and he writes him another note. So touching. Because remember when Big T talked about when he was in the hole, Lil Murda would write him a note, and that would keep him, sane, and keep him, going. And so he wrote him a note. I wrote down what he said. He said, I wrote you an extra one in case it gets dark down there in that hole. Took me on out. Y'all know we love some Big T around here. Took me all the way out. Let me take a swig for my boy Big T. Anyway, after the feud, the old heads is outside. They talking or whatever. Old heads say, Lil Murda, come here, let me talk to you. They showed him a video. On the video is the dude who Big T got in that fight with when they were on the tour. Dude is around, his name is Pico. Pico is around here making videos saying that he's the reason that Lil Murda is dead. Like he offed him, he's taking credit for killing Lil Murda, and so they are incensed. Oh, he's like, nah, he died this way. Nah, he died that way. I heard he died that way. And there was a younger dude there, a younger dark skinned dude, real cute, not real cute, but there was a younger dude there, and he was dark skinned, and so he looked younger. And I felt like he was about to say he heard that Big T got committed suicide, but one of the other old heads cut him off and said, it don't matter what happened. What matters is he can't be putting his name on that death like that and so forth. So they told Lil Murda, go handle that. And Lil Murda said, I got you. Could have told Lil Murda anything. If it involved Big Teak at that moment, when you just coming out the funeral home, or you had to repass or whatever, maybe they could have told him anything. He would have been ready to take whoever out. Anyway, down to the Pynk. They still practicing. Mercedes still looks a hot ass mess. Just like hot garbage. She looks like hot garbage. I shouldn't say garbage because let me say hot garbage. Nah, she's hot garbage because when you garbage, you ain't even good enough to be garbage. You are garbage. Gahbaj. That's how you spell it. Fight your mama. Don't fight me. Gahbej. Garbage. That's what she was. Garbage. Anyway, Roulette is talking to Whisper, and they talking about she said, listen, that dude that came in here, his name Terrence, he been blowing me up about, getting up in that box with his tongue. He wants to eat that box. She was like, I've been thinking about it. And she pulls out her little pendulum thing to see what the universe say. And Roulette was like, girl, go on and make this money, honey. Before we end up like Mercedes. Girl, look at our ass best. Like garbage. Anyway, so Mercedes is up there trying to dance. Hailey looking at her like, girl, you ain't ready. Girl, get over it. Girl, let this go. So Mercedes get all upset. She get ready to cuss out Hailey, and Derrick calls. So she rushes out of there, goes home. She's home. Who's there? Shell. So baby is um Shell is over there talking to Mercedes all about how the hell you gonna take this minor down to get an abortion without the permission of the legal guardian, which technically is kind of wrong. And she was like, we don't do that in our household, unlike you. We take care of our responsibilities on our own. Basically saying I wouldn't have to go get no abortion. But I think this was a moment where Mercedes, I mean, for me, I feel like this was a gut punch moment for Mercedes, because Terica looked at her and said, "I'm going with Shell." And for all of that you did to help Terica, took her down there, helped her make the decision, she still looked at you flat footed and said, "I'm going with Shell." And I know that was a gut punch for Mercedes, but baby, you have to understand, Shell raised her. Shell is mama. And you tried to read Shell, yeah, but you weren't there because Shell was like, bitch, I've been here for her whole life. Well, you weren't there in her most important moment. Well, who's to say or who determines what is the most important moment in that young woman's life? Not you. And for all that you said, she still went with Shell. Mercedes can't catch a break, but I told y'all, she makes a whole lot of bad decisions and gets mad when things don't go right. Baby, you made a bad decision. It was a bad decision to take a 14-year-old child to go get an abortion without letting the legal guard. Yes, you are her legal mother. Yes, I mean you are her mother, the birth giver, the one who pushed her out. But baby, Shell is the legal guardian, and for you to be going to take that child down to get an abortion without Shell knowing, baby, that's a bad decision. That's the wrong answer. I told y'all this is why I hate Mercedes. Mercedes' character is my least favorite character. She makes every wrong decision, but then gets mad with the world or get mad with everybody else. Seems just perpetually angry at life and the world because her bad decisions cause bad things to happen. Get your life. Down to the plantation, I mean the cotton fields of the cow at the Cow family plantation. Corbin is there trying to work on some machine or whatever. Uncle Clifford rolls up again like he did during season one. Baby, that outfit Uncle Clifford had on was everything. Everything. Not everything, not everything, everything. You have to enunciate each syllable when it's that nice. And once again had the matching umbrella to go with it. I loved it, loved it. So basically what came out of this scene was, they always had a back and forth, all of this talks or whatever. What came out of this was Uncle Clifford is trying to throw Corbin a bone and say, listen, if you want to beat Patrice Woodbine, then what that means is you have to offer her money. That's all she responds to. Excuse me, y'all. Not COVID. She said that's all she. He said that's all she responds to. But I really want to know what is Uncle Clifford's mo, because I feel like if she gets her way, if Patrice gets her way, then the Pynk gets to stay. Uncle Clifford helping Corbin combat or fight against Patrice isn't good for the Pynk. Has he succumbed to the let me just get this good money? I think Uncle Clifford might be there on my phone with all the goddamn bells and whistles. I think Uncle Clifford is coming around to the notion that it might be best suited for him to get this money. So back down to the hotel, Roulette and Whisper are waiting for old boy Terrence. Whisper was like, listen, something feel off. The universe don't feel right for me. The Terrence dude comes and Roulette, and he was like, well, why is you here? I know I was getting to his shoe. Like, hell no, bitch, this ain't no goddamn 2 for 1. Y'all know Roulette is my hoe. She was like, listen, I'm sticking around because you ain't gonna try no shit with my girl. Ain't no funny business, bitch. If she stay, I stay. Period. No, she said, if you stay, I'm staying. So she stayed. She went in the bathroom while they, started doing what they do. Down back at Andre's house, he looking at the check that Hailey wrote. Baby, the check got Lakeisha Savage on the printed name. I was like, girl, So he still ain't cashed the $10,000 check that she left on the nightstand. So she comes over, Haley comes over, and Andre tells her, the story of his dad and why he been lying about the dad and all of this. Andre, nobody feels bad for you. No amount of emotions that you try to, put out there is gonna make us feel bad for you for lying about your daddy. You're a liar. Anyway, he says basically his campaign is over, and she like, bitch, you giving up that fast? You letting these white people win? He's like, hey, Andre ain't got the type of fight in him. He ain't got the type of fight in him. Sure. Some people got the fight in him. He don't. That ain't. He don't have that type of fight. So they discussed the night that they fucked, and so he was like, yeah, cause it was cool fucking Lakeisha Savage, but I wanted to wake up next to Haley. That didn't land well, Andre. It don't. Andre, we started off this series last season with you being my husband. Lil Murda was my, weekend, bust down, my weekend, whatever. But you was the husband. I might have to divorce you, Andre. You just don't got it. Anyway, somebody, so Haley says she has this elaborate plan. She calls up somebody named Brazil and says, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. I don't know what it sounded like. I felt like she was saying that she was going to use the Pynk and the reopening as some type of way to reboost his campaign or something like that. But I don't know who Brazil is. I don't know if that's a stripper or something like that. I don't know. But she cooking up something for him because she tell Brazil, girl, meet me ASAP. I don't know. She got something. We'll find out. So we get back down to the hotel. I told you, host, there was a reason that I like Roulette. Baby, dude, they don't finish because she was halfway moaning and he was eating a box. So dude, after it's all done, just throws the money on the floor, just so disrespectfully, just throw it at her like a dog. So she got the money and it's $200 short. And she started yelling, and so Roulette come out and say, "Is there a fucking problem here?" And she was like, he was like, she was like, yeah, he shorted me $200. He was like, well, this bitch can't even moan right. She said, you can't even eat pussy right. I knew something was off. Your bitch ass came in here looking like a motherfucker that ain't never pleased a woman in his life. And he got mad and started choking her out. Baby, next thing you know, there's a gun barrel pointed at his temple. Bitch, what the fuck? Roulette had to pull out her gun and said, and went into roulette mode. I love this bitch. That whole thing. Oh, she went straight thug. She went straight hood, alley, ghetto, whatever you want to call her. Where I'm from, I know I come here and I look well put together, poised, kept. I'm from the hood. The hood's in Miami. She gave me some shit that a girl that I grew up with would have did. That bitch pulled out that gun and said, listen, me and Def got a real good relationship. I'm real good with that. Let's play my favorite game. Now we know why her name is Roulette. Because her favorite game is Russian Roulette. Because there's only one bullet in this gun. Baby, he thought she was playing. She put the shit to her head. Bam. What? Click. Put it back to his head. You think it's a game? Bitch. That bitch, you could, if he wasn't peeing his clothes already, you could tell. So she clicked the gun, he damn near died. He got all that. She was like, I don't know how many more chances you got. So she tell um Whisper to take off his clothes. She said, bitch, I say take his motherfucking clothes off. I was so here for Roulette in this shit. So she make him strip down naked, and she put the gun barrel in his mouth and say, yeah, motherfucker moan like you wanted my girl to moan. He start wanting, she started sliding in and out his mouth like it's a dick. She was like, who got dick sucking lips now? Child, I was here for all of it. Here for every single part of it. Anyway, so then they take off running. Baby, they take off running. He left in the room naked. They get in his car and take his car and get their money or whatever. I guess they gonna get the money out of the car. So shit was everything. Loved this scene. Loved this scene. Come on, Thelma and Louise. So we then see the dude Pico walking in some open field by himself. Turn around. There go Murda waiting for him. Murda in the middle of a fucking open field, which is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I was like, are you trying to get caught? Middle of an open field, takes out Pico, just blow him off the face of the earth, just savagely blows him away with a chopper. Okay, and but my thing is, so he just calmly walks away, and you got all these people that's running over there to see about Pico. Nobody sees him casually walking away. I mean, he eventually went into a light jog, but somebody had to see him, and they could have went after him, but nobody does. Child, I guess. Back down to Mercedes' house. Maine is having his block party. The boys is having his block party. Now, Maine is in the rival gang of Lil Murda. He's in the same gang that this Pico guy was in. So Mercedes comes home. The boys on the block is like, hey, they done got Pico. Pico done got God. Pico done got God, honey. And everybody started to ride out. Mercedes was like, nah, stay here with me. No, they ain't got no ankle monitor. Let them bitches go. You stay here with me. All right. Because he think he about to get him some. So she tells him about how she had to take a life and had to kill Montavious or whatever, and how it's still fucking with her, giving her nightmares and all that kind of shit. And she was like, "Does it ever go away?" He was like, "Mm." And so he was like, "But what you got to do is you got to pay it forward, basically, and do something for somebody else, and that'll hopefully balance it out. Like help somebody else out, and that'll balance it out, hopefully, with the man upstairs." So he was like, "Cause that's what I'm trying to do with you, hopefully." And he kind of makes an advance at her sexually, and she was like, "I ain't really looking for that." Another bad decision. Girl, you were supposed to at least let him blow your back out. I ain't saying you got to be with him, but you could let him blow your back out. Hell, you let old ass coach blow your back out, and his wife. Don't act like you all prim and proper and pious. Girl, you into getting your back blown out. Why not let man? Girl, I don't know why I'm coughing, y'all. Anyway, um, she turns him down. He said, "I hope you found what you're looking for." Because she was like, "Dang, what I'm looking for. Well, I hope you found what you're looking for." He wasn't disrespectful. He was very respectful with her. He never went too far. He never did anything bad. He was very respectful. But girl, once again, another bad decision. Just saying. Anyway, Uncle Clifford goes to visit his mama's grave, and he basically is there commiserating again, telling her he's sorry for not visiting her as much, but he basically is trying to bargain with her and say, "Listen, if you keep Ernestine alive, I'll come and visit you more. I'll do whatever, but I'm not ready to give up Ernestine." But I think he's come to the realization that he's gonna have to. Um, so then we forward over to Patrice having a whole um, service online raising money. Somebody donate $10,000 and leave a little message. So after the service, her little assistant say, "Listen, they left a message. Meet them outside." She go outside. It's Corbin. Corbin done brought her a whole stack of money. "Listen, bitch, I need you to get out of this race. I need you to let it go. Go ahead and get. Here's the money, and it's more where that came from. But I need you to bow out gracefully." She take the money. She doesn't come out and say she's gonna bow out, but I guess by taking the money, she's you know saying that she is. But if we know Patricia Woodbine, she good for stealing money and not doing what you want her to do. We then see Roulette take that same the car over to Duffy's mechanic shop. She said, "Listen, I need you to bust this down." And so he was like, "Well, who is this Terrence Walker person that belongs to? Is he gonna cash?" She was like, "I promise you, I have it on on good notice that he won't be looking for it. Looking for it." She was like, "I need to bust down by tomorrow." Duffy said, "I got you. I'll take care of it. Where you want me to bring it down to the valley? You know the rest, bitch." I guess it's about to go down at the reopening. All this, I really feel like this reopening is all gonna come to a head. You gonna come, Terrence? I feel like Derrick gonna come looking for Mississippi because you know he ain't gonna be happy. I feel like we gonna have the Montana. I'm figuring that the season finale is probably gonna be this reopen because I see this is about to be a whole ass mess. I could see it being another. It's not gonna be murder night, but it's gonna be a whole nother big night, and it's gonna be a whole lot of fuckery. Anyway, somebody gonna die again. It's probably gonna be Derrick. I could see Derrick dying. Hmm. I could see Diamond finally, cause you saw. Oh, I forgot to mention when they was over there, and Hailey said that Diamond was gonna be headlining, and Diamond. I mean not Diamond. That Mississippi was gonna be headlining. Diamond looked over and said, "All that shit Big Bone had going on." Went to the side. He immediately went shoo, and looked at Mississippi. Child. So then Lil Murda goes down to the studio, and we see him laying down on the track, and he still got blood splattered on his hand or whatever. And from when he killed Pico, and it goes on from there. He's gonna get caught. He's going back to jail. He's going back to jail. It goes on from there. Lil Murda is gonna be going back to jail. Why is you in this open ass field? Or I don't know if he's gonna get caught, go back to jail. I think what may happen is Maine might get caught up with him. It's gonna get out that Lil Murda did it. Maine gonna come looking for him, and Mercedes might have to save Lil Murda. Maine gonna come up there to that goddamn strip club too. Lil Murda gonna be at the strip club on that reopening. Maine gonna, it's gonna be, I can see everything coming to a climax at that point. Derrick gonna be at that reopening. Lil Murda is gonna be there. Maine gonna be there looking for Lil Murda. Who else I said was gonna be there? The dude Terrence is gonna be there looking for Whisper and Roulette. Girl, it's gonna be a mess. A whole mess. I'm here for it. Montavious gonna come to, you know, Montavious, he basically resigned now. Child, it's gonna be a mess. Y'all let me know what y'all think. It was a good episode. I will say this. Sometimes the less is more, because they be cramming a whole lot, and I just want them to flush some things fully out. That's why I say less is more, because they really try to pack so much in each episode, and sometimes I just want some things to be flushed out a little more. Grow longer legs. That's it, y'all. Let's get in the comment section. Do what we do. Listen, like, share, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Hit the notification bell. Y'all know what we do. Until next time, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out.